Hello, welcome back. So the first few weeks, um, since the 4th of February, I have been really thinking of an event that had occurred at that time, on the 4th of February. And this occurred in Nairobi, Kenya, where a South Sudanese activist, a young activist, was rounded up by persons that are feared to be maybe the same group that had before rounded up South Sudanese in Nairobi, was taken to South Sudan, where he was with his family, and unfortunately, his whereabouts are unknown. Um, I decided to do this video to put these thoughts out there because these are matters that I think that we should discuss. Because for a long while now, uh, our people have been suffering, and the only time that we hear of any negotiation or any speaking is not on things that South Sudanese or people who come along the Nile in this country since the 80s have not been us airing them and speaking out them and debating them in public domain. It has been either the IGAD that is negotiating peace in Addis Ababa and Arusha and other places, or it has been the EU coming in to try and salvage something so that we can have some peace, or it has been the Americans, or it has been the Troika and all the other peace initiative groups that we know. And ours has been sitting at the background and waiting for peace to be negotiated for on our behalf, that we do not have a voice to speak. And in this way, we have been disadvantaged. We have not known really what goes on in these negotiations. So when these things occur, these events occur that are really affect our life every day, whether you are far or you are near, and we do not speak of them, then they will keep affecting us, our children, and our children's children. So it is high time that we take up the mantle and face the challenge and try to find solutions in our own way, and the things that we can do, you cannot do them. We invite our friends. So on the 4th of February, one day after the Pope had left South Sudan, because he left on the 3rd, he flew out, sorry, on the 3rd. It seems that the prayers that he conducted in South Sudan, fleeing for us to have peace and to live among ourselves as brothers and sisters, were not answered. Why do I say so? Because on the 4th of February in Nairobi, Kenya, an activist by the name of Maurice Mabior, a weak joke, was rounded up in his home in front of his children by unknown people. People suspect, and it is said if the news reported by the Kenyan television, Citizen TV, is anything to go by, says that these are people who came in uniform, suspected to be Kenyan police servicemen, purported to be, because I'm not sure that the Kenyan police will just go and arrest somebody who is in their home. So these are things that had happened and affected the people of South Sudan, not just now, but if you may remember and go back to January 2017, where 3 men were also rounded up. James Gatdet Dak, who was then the spokesperson of Dr. Riek Machar and opposition to the opposition, the IO opposition group, was arrested from Nairobi. Dong Samuel Luak, a human rights activist and lawyer, was arrested, and from Nairobi, we use press, disappeared. Aggrey Idris, also from the opposition, were arrested and rounded up. So there seems to be a trend. There seem to be persons in Kenya or a group that has made it their business that ensures that South Sudanese refugees, and this is where the sad parts come in. Refugees, people who have run away to come and seek sanctuary in a land that has hosted us for a while, for a long time, seem to disappear. And when they disappear, nobody seems to own or to know who have taken these people. In the case of Morris, to be fair, a lot of Kenyans have come out. A lot of Kenyans human rights groups and watchdogs have come out and condemned this. Even international groups, yes, like Amnesty International, have come out and condemned this. Amnesty also did the same in the case of Dong Samuel and Aggrey and Gatdet Dak, condemned this arrest. But who is doing this? This is the main question. Is it that there is a diplomatic breach where South Sudan has become so powerful that it can go to other countries and arrest refugees, people who have run away from the system because their lives are in danger, go and seek sanctuary in either in East Africa or other parts of the world, and South Sudan can come and arrest them and take them back without these nations asking the question, why are you doing this? This is our territory. Here we value human rights, we value refugees, and we stand with the statue of the refugee laws, right? You cannot come and arrest somebody who has come and seeked safety with us. Why is this happening? If indeed this is anything that is connected to the government of Kenya, but I think it's not. I really believe it's not. Because Kenya has been the safest place, the place where refugees go to, not just for South Sudanese. And it has shown that internationally that Kenya can be a place where refugees can be protected. And when you go there, you are under the Kenyan law. Whatever you do from there, you will be judged according to the Kenyan laws. So why is it that somebody over the years has been finding their way through? Are they using government connections? What are they doing? That they come and take refugees from their homes, from where they are seeking sanctuary, back to South Sudan or wherever they are taken to, because most of these people, we don't know where they are. Somewhere down Luak, Aggrey, Idris, we can only rely on rumors that this happened to them. But where are they? Who took them? James Gatdet Dak, who was arrested in Nairobi, and this is where now we have the clue. We say that when the people are arrested in Kenya or anywhere else across the East African region, they are actually taken to Juba, right? Because James Gatdet Dak was arrested in Nairobi, and he was actually detained in the Blue House in Juba, the torture chambers, where he has been there until the 2018 peace was signed, and he was part of the ransom, let's say, to call it this way, and he was released, right? So these other refugees could be there. So what is the issue then with this? The issue is that Kenya is being put under a really serious pressure when it comes to refugee law. Because who is a refugee? A refugee is anyone who owing, and this is the definition that is given by the UN, right, in 1951 convention, that owing to the fear of being persecuted, the profound fear actually of being persecuted, flee away from their country of birth to another territory, to another country where they can find safety. And that until this fear is removed, until they feel they are safe to go back to this country, they cannot be forced to go back. And that's why there is the law of nonrefoulement, that you cannot return a refugee as long as they feel that their life is in danger, or they feel that their life is under threat. So when these people are taken by force, it is the Kenyan government actually who should demand from South Sudan people, or from South Sudan government, no, not people, the government, to ensure that they bring these people as to Kenya. I'm saying like this because Gatdet Dak was in Nairobi, was taken to Juba, and he was released. So we know that these people were arrested in Kenya were being taken to Juba. So these people must be released because they are under the Kenyan law, protected by the refugee law. So the South Sudan is putting Kenya under a really serious international law scrutiny, which is not the case because Kenya has been showing over the years, has shown that it has respected refugees and it has taken care of several refugees, actually from South Sudan and Somalia and other nations across the East African region and also across the African region. So this is a fear that now South Sudanese cannot speak up, cannot ask questions. The activists, because activists cannot speak up in South Sudan. They have to run away in one way or another for them to speak up in the situation that people find themselves in now. So the arrest of Morris has added to the wounds of the arrest of James Gatdet Dak as a refugee in Kenya, and the Dong Samuel Luak and Aggrey Idris. But because South Sudanese maybe have not been speaking up in large numbers, of course others have been speaking up. I remember I and my group and other people have been speaking up for this over the years. But others, that's a very minute group, because it is a way of instilling fear in the South Sudanese people. The young people who want good economic development, the young people who want progress, the young people who are tired of living as refugees in other people's lands, where the treatment is not as good as you would want to have, who want to go back and build their country, who have acquired some education and are professionals like any other ones in the world and want to go and see what they can do before they leave this world in terms of developing their country, are being made to fear because they cannot speak up. They cannot speak up in South Sudan, but when they go to other countries and they want to raise their voice, to reach out to other South Sudanese, to other people, so that they can remove these problems, so that they can try to mitigate these challenges, especially with the war, especially with people living in UNMISS camps, at IDPs within their own country at this time and age. People living outside, millions actually, living outside South Sudan as refugees at this time and age. A country where there was hope. In 2011, everybody thought that this would be the time for us to shine again. So my plea to the people of Kenya, you have shown over the years that you are supportive people. You have shown us that when we die, we can come to you and you can rescue us. Where you had something to eat, we eat it together. You have shown the spirit of Africa, where we have Ubuntu. You are because I am. Brotherhood. Would you kindly, like the human rights groups that have come out, join us in ensuring that we also have to build a legacy as young people and as people who want change. That when we speak up, when we ask about the inhumane killing that are going on and we try to condemn it, that you stand with us, that we are not rounded up. This also goes to the Ugandans. You have also shown resolve over the years. You have hosted us and you have stood by us. This has also shown to the Ethiopians for what you have done to us. Here we have big refugee camps where we have lived for years, despite the hard conditions, which we cannot blame you, of course, for. But when we needed education, you have given us. You have not discriminated us. So it is now time that you also give us the platform that we can participate to change, because it is your education that has actually made us what we are today. That other education that you have given us through the safety that you gave us should actually now make meaning. Because for how long are we going to be refugees in your countries? It's also time, and you'll be happy to see that when we go back, we try and make our nation wonderful and change it for the better. This is my plea as an individual and as a concern, young academic, young intellectual, young and hungry, somebody who won't change in our land and in the region of East Africa, because in as long as we are lame and we do not have strong legs to walk within that region, we will always have the problem. Though you want to, South Sudan is integrated into the EAC, the East African region, we will always have this problem. As long as DRC keep on limping, as long as Somalia keep on limping, as long as there are some problems with the Sudan, the region will never be settled. So the first thing now is to ensure that human rights are upheld, and we ensure that nobody is above the law, including the president in the regions. So kindly ask the questions to the people who are adopting our activists from Kenya. Ask the questions. If you are a Kenyan who is doing this and you are being paid maybe by anybody who has found themselves to be untouchable from South Sudan, kindly refrain from this. You are doing something wrong. Whatever you get in terms of monetary values, it means nothing to the lives of the millions of South Sudanese, because it's not just these 2 people or 3 people that you are arresting, the activists that you are arresting, because maybe they have wronged somebody here and there, all right? Because they are speaking up on issues that have affected them, they have seen. Can you even imagine? Even the immediate family of these people that are arrested: Samuel Dong Luak, Aggrey Idris, Mabior, Gatdet Dak. How about their families? The mental torture that they are subjected to, the suffering they will go to, because these are their breadwinners. Where will they be? So sometimes not everything that is politics. Add humanness in these things, because we can never sing the song that we want Africa to be great while we keep on doing such things. These are regressive. We cannot move forward. We cannot progress when we see such things happening, that we are rounding up refugees. People who are just speaking up and asking questions of why is the economic situation keep on deteriorating? Why are people being killed every day in this age and time? So kindly, it is my plea to the government of Kenya that you should see to it that nobody is arrested again within your territory, whether a South Sudanese or a Somali or anybody who have come to seek sanctuary in your territory. It is because you are seen as a people who have uphold the law. It is because people are believing that they can find safety in your land. That's why refugees are coming there. And refugees do not just leave their country because they want to. People do not just leave their territories because they love to leave. I did not become a refugee, for example, because I do not love my family, because I do not want to live with my father, my brothers and my sisters. It is the dream of everybody. The same dream that you have in your countries when you have peace. It's the same dream that everybody who is facing war today have, because everybody wants to love, that family love, and live together. So kindly do not deny people who are still alive in your territory because of the values that you hold. Do not deny them the opportunity to live. And if they speak up, then protect them. Because in Kenya, even the Kenyan people speak up when something wrong has happened with the government. You ask the government questions. Because that is the democracy you have shown, the East Africa region. This is what the young South Sudanese are trying to follow. Because we are facing monsters in our region in the name of liberators, people who have forgotten that they actually liberated the country so that the people, young South Sudanese, their children can actually become part of this change. It is like they send children to school, tell them to study, while these studies, when they finish school, they cannot ask questions. You tell me to become an economist, while I cannot ask about the exchange rate, about the black market, that I cannot ask about the capital flows in the country. So these are the challenges we are facing, and we hope that Kenya, Uganda, Ethiopia, even Sudan, Egypt, and even the Congo, the places where we are having refugees, we should be protected. Kudos to Tanzania. We have been there, we have never had any cases of us being rounded there. You are showing us great love. If we want Africa to be great, we have to arrest and stop such kind of behaviors. Thank you very much. Until next time.